You got NOLA.com reporting Zion Williamson may need a second surgery on his right foot. Zion hasn't played a single game this season. He's only suited up 85 times since being drafted in 2019. So trouble's there for the Pelicans. Brian, what do we know about the situation in New Orleans right now with Zion?
We know that people aren't on the same page. We know Zion spent last summer away from the team. After he had this injury, he was away from the team. When his rehab this year had a setback, he went away from the team. He hasn't been around the team in 6 weeks. His family and his agent have wanted to take control of this process. And the details of exactly what's going on have been kept confidential. I don't want to speculate, but we can say that it's not gone well because he was supposed to be back in October or November. We are in mid-February. We haven't heard an update in 6 weeks. And it's obviously extremely concerning. He has missed 117 games. He has played 85. That is a nightmare situation for any top player. And I don't know what the next steps are, but he is not close to playing at all.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you don't want to have these kinds of questions surrounding what's supposed to be your transcendent superstar on your team. So what is there to say about where Zion finds himself right now?
It feels like, for me, Ryan, that Zion doesn't really want to be there.
Really?
I mean, did you just listen to what Wendy
just reported?
But
still,
about the disconnect between not being around the franchise, not doing physical therapy around the franchise to a degree? I mean, those are big questions, and it does bring back into this notion. It's like buying a house during the pandemic, right? I had a chance to look at 2 homes, and you look at one that seems strong foundationally, and you're like, all right, but doesn't have as many bells and whistles as the other home has. You know what? I'm going to take the other home. And all of a sudden, all those bells and whistles, there's stuff starts to go wrong with it. You're like, I got to pour more money on it. I got to fix it. I got to fix it. I got to fix it. And all of a sudden, somebody's telling you, well, look, you just lost value in your home, but you're looking at the home right across the street, the one that you could have bought for less, but that's going up 2.5x. That other home is Ja Morant. And you're sitting looking at Ja Morant saying, he's durable, he's playing, he's in the MVP conversation, and yet we're looking at Zion saying he's barely been on the court.
Oh, yeah, but in fairness, nobody was picking Ja over Zion back then. I mean, no one was.
But people were talking about the weight that Zion had and the reckless abandon in which he attacked the rim and the injury-prone issues that he did have coming out of college. Yeah. That was a very much talked about thing.
All right, Wendy, I'll give you the last word on this because this is I think it's a tough scenario for New Orleans because I don't know if they would have picked Ja over Zion at this point, but right now it's not looking like a good move to have him on your squad.
Well, look, I'm a huge believer in Ja Morant and his future, but nobody would have taken Ja first. Zion, go back and look on YouTube at Zion's, highlights from his 1 year at Duke. Not only was he a devastating offensive player, there is a package of defensive highlights out there that will make your jaw drop. He is a once-in-a-generation type of athletic talent, and that is why the Pelicans will bend over backwards to try to make sure that he's comfortable. But the reality is, what he has been doing, which has largely been, keeping to himself and his family, letting them handle the training, it has not been working. And so the concept that continuing to do what he's been doing and hoping that it works out, that's a tough sell. But he has consistently wanted to maintain his own process and his own programs. The team has been aware, but the team has been running side saddle. And look, he is now in a situation where his career is in jeopardy of being derailed. Changes have got to be made, and everyone is saying that around him, but it is not happening so far.
I know he's a transcendent talent, but if you go back to 3 years ago on this show, I said there were issues or questions you had around him because of his lack of shooting in his mid-range game. He attacks the rim at such a high probability that only increases his opportunity to get hurt because of how he lands. Yeah. I mean, that frame is ridiculous that he's carrying.
And just a real quick correction here. It's not that nobody want him on his team, but this situation is dire right now for New Orleans. We will see how this all plays out.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.